Alrighty, what is good? I just got back from the gym, hit some nice legs today. Finished up, did my cardio, and I finally got back so I can record this video and get it out for y'all. I will say today was definitely a much harder day to kind of get a gauge on price. If you're trading this with some discretion and just trying to get on the right side of the market, as we did chop around quite a bit today, which I'm pretty sure, or at least I hope, quite a few of y'all recognize that. So I do want to go over a couple setups and kind of explain my thought process behind them, because there were a couple today that if you weren't looking at a little bit of higher time frame structure like 1 and 5 minute, that you were definitely going to get chopped up or caught in when it was the wrong move to begin with. So initially, right off, let's go ahead and mark. So 840, like I said, is when I begin looking. 840, I let the market kind of get its footing right there, and we actually did get a setup right off rip, right? Let me delete this so you can see this. So obviously we put in this little swing low point right here. As you can see, we did violate it. We displaced down. However, this is kind of where some extra stuff needs to come in. Is what did we just do? We just engineered buy stops right here. Obviously, we have this high over here, this higher time frame high. We have this high put in right up here. Then we come up right here and put in another high before or as we displace down. And also zooming out, let me see if I can show you all on the 1 minute. Where is this? So that was at 840. Let me scroll back over. 840, what are we coming straight back into? We're coming back into a bullish PD array, bullish 1 minute fair value gap. That's more than likely going to take us up there. We also have this order block over here. So that's kind of my point, is you need to zoom out some. You need to understand the narrative of where price is likely to go. You need to see what's being respected and what's being disrespected. In this instance, what is being respected? Bullish PD arrays. We are in a buy program. What are we expecting? Higher prices. So we did come up and take out both of these levels. So from there, I was expecting a move down lower. We got that, but no clean scalp setups were presented. Obviously, on the 15-second, we just started dump with nothing really piquing my interest or anything. And like I said, when I saw just the movement early on in the day, I was like, all right, today is going to be a pretty tough day. And just as such it was. But getting into the next setup, obviously, or actually, let's see, I don't believe, so yeah, we had no low broken right there. Otherwise, that would have been pretty good, because we did almost, I think on the 1 minute, it shows that we like tapped it, or no, we were a couple ticks away from it, obviously. We displaced down, no low was broken there, so this one would have been valid. The next one, I would have refrained, or I really hope no one took this, as they were looking at the higher time frame structure. Obviously, we had taken those highs that I just discussed about, and we are repricing up off of a bearish 1 minute fair value gap, as you can see over here on the 1 minute right here. That's what this yellow box is right here. So this would have been very low probable to me. It did actually run up to 9.25 points before it came back down, where it would have stopped you at break even. And this was one of the only, this next one, this was one of the only plays that actually I semi liked this morning. And I'll kind of explain my thought process behind it. So obviously we had taken this low right here. So overall structure, once we broke this high with the body close above it, I was like, all right, we could see some higher prices today. I'm just going to kind of let the market get its footing and decide what it wants to do. When I saw this, I was like a little bit off the gas. I was like, all right, I need to actually kind of look deeper down and try and get a better gauge of where it's likely to go. And once we took this low and immediately started to displace up, I was like, all right, we're likely, because we engineered more buy stops up here. So where price or the market is likely going to draw when we put relative equal highs into, those are usually always going to be a draw. And when we took this low, and like I said, when we started displacing up, I was like, all right, price is likely, or it's going to probably begin spooling. This is not spooling. This is just slow up and down until we finally took that high up there. But this specific setup, I kind of want to explain on the 1 minute. So a lot of people probably were bearish right there just because we failed to put any or displace above this high, or we didn't even take it. And we had a little breaker right here too. But kind of my thought process here was, okay, we're in discount of the range. If price is going to shift lower, we need to return to premium of the range. So this is kind of my thought process right here. Obviously, we displaced above this high. We had a little flip right here. This one I did take on paper on my NinjaTrader account, one of my sim accounts. Like I said, I'm not trading live this week because Christmas coming up. This one did run up to 10.25 before it came down, stopped us at break even, and then just ripped up. You could have gone in here as well too. We displaced above this high. I think that would have tapped in right there. Let's check real quick. No, that would have been 2 ticks, or 1 or 2 ticks short. And then we also had this one right here. We had some displacement above that high, and then we came back in this fair value gap. This one, I'm kind of curious if this one, yeah, so you would have been stopped to break even there too. Pretty unfortunate, but like I said, market was pretty damn trash today. And then actually, no, I took one more on my sim account. This was like, I started to just get away from the charts after this, after just seeing how price action was. But we had taken this high over here, right? We wicked through it, no body close or anything, and we just immediately started to dump back down. We had this engineered, we had equal lows right here. We had a clean scalp set up right here, broke this low over here that was equal with that, so it's valid in my eyes. Came up, tapped off that. We only had, what is that? 2 ticks to draw down. 2 ticks to draw down, and then it went 8.75 points. I really, really wanted to see it at least reach to that. That would have hit the second target, but it didn't. We just continued to just displace up super, super slow. And then zooming out a little bit, using some standard deviations right here, we finally reached the -2 and 2.5 standard deviation, which is labeled by this gray box right here. And we didn't have none of these really, none of them gave entry requirements right here. Oh, actually, I do want to go over this because I'm not sure. I hope you had an eye for it, but kind of all over the place here right now. But we had equal lows right here, so obviously this would not be valid right here. Same for that too. We had equal highs right there, so I wouldn't be entertaining that. But like I said, we reached the -2, -2.5 standard deviation. As you can see, we just wicked straight up to that, took out that buy side level, and just immediately started to dump. I thought we were going to maybe see us come back to premium and continue down. However, price never broke the low that put in the high before we started to flip here. So that's kind of what I was eyeing. I was like, all right, this is what it's presenting us, so we must comply, you know. So obviously, right here, I do want to go over this. Like I said, this is just adding more into this, because what I've given y'all is a baseline. There's a lot more to it. It's not just like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just the way I see it. But the entry is a baseline. You're just gonna have to spend screen time. That's the truth. You're just gonna have to spend screen time with it and just understand, seeing what you're seeing, and just kind of go from there. But obviously, right here, we do displace below this low right here, but we just closed on the 1 minute. Let me see if I can go over. We had a 1 minute bearish fair value gap right there that we closed above, as you can see right there. Let me zoom in. We closed above it right there, right? So if bearish PD arrays are getting violated, what are we in? Buy program. Bullish PD arrays getting respected. Bearish PD arrays getting, bullish PD arrays getting respected and bearish PD arrays getting disrespected. We're in a buy program. We're likely going to see higher prices. So there's no sense in taking any scalp shorts. It's not logical. You're trading against the flow of the market. And so that's why I would not be entertaining that at all, if anyone even took that. Realistically, after seeing all this previous price action over here, you should have been like, all right, these are improbable conditions. Not really going to entertain these, and I'll just wait for the next day to come. If they're clean, I'll execute some setups. That's something you got to realize, is the market's always going to be there. You don't need to be itching to put on a trade. There's always going to be another opportunity. You don't need to be forcing trades. Once you realize that and understand that, a lot of stuff changes. You don't have to have a sense of urgency like, I need to put on a trade, I need to put on a trade, I need to put on a trade. No, you don't. No, you don't. If you really want to be successful at this, you will learn patience. When you see a setup that sticks out to you and speaks to you, that's when you execute. If you have to force something, as I don't remember who on Twitter said this, but if you have to force a trade, what's this saying? Trading is like a fart. If you have to force it, it's going to be shit. That's exactly the point I'm trying to make. If you think something and it's not speaking out to you, it's probably a sign you probably shouldn't be entertaining it. Trade what you see, not what you think. So obviously, from here, we just started putting in, nothing over here was valid, fit within any requirements, and we just started putting a bunch of equal highs and equal lows in here. And this is, I think, when I actually got off the charts, I was like, this shit's garbage. I'm not even going to look at the market right now. And then so 10:30 is kind of when I stopped looking. So right after that, I think we did get couple good setup. I'm trying to find. There was a really, really good example of like what my A plus setup is. I think it was a little bit later on. Let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah. Here it is. All right. So obviously we put in break this high, right? Okay. Put it in a high. Put it in a low. We violate this low. Close the body below it. So we can anticipate this swing point if price is in a sell program to act as, in a sense, is just a higher time frame order block. Let's see. I'm going to go over on the 1 minute real quick over here. So this would actually be the more precise order block. And as you can see, we just top tick this before continuing down. But this is my A plus setup right here. Is we come back into, if price is in a sell program, we come back into a bearish PD array, respect it, displace down off of it, break these lows right here. And then obviously from there, what we do is get our gone box, mark out the levels that we want to put our limit at, which is the bottom yellow line. And as you can see, this one just absolutely melted. This is where these kind of plays come off, stuff like this. I want y'all to recognize that. I'm very, very picky with the scalps I take, and they have to speak out to me. They have to make sense and be logical and be with the flow, order flow, structure of the market, just a whole bunch of stuff. It just comes with screen time. But this one only, let's see, so we got tagged in there. This one would have had, what is that, 7 ticks, 1.75 points to draw down before absolutely melting to 18 points. But this is something I want y'all to study right here. Display slower, come back up to premium of the market. Let me mark that out within this short-term leg. Premium. As you can see, we come back up and then we displace down, create our little scalp entry, and then just absolutely melt. You could even have pyramided right in here, but that's like my A++ right there. But I hope this helps. Like I said, today was a little bit of a harder day to read. If you're newer, you definitely more than likely got chopped up today. At days like these, you just got to be able to recognize and understand when you should and should be in the market. And when you see unprobable conditions, either de-risk yourself a lot or just close the charts or just tape read. It's exactly what I'm doing this week. I did not expect the greatest price action coming into this week because the holidays are coming up. We got Christmas on Monday. A lot of people are not on the on the charts on the market placing orders. Obviously banks are, blah blah blah, but a lot of volatility is not there. As you can see, the move requirements for these are much smaller than like compared to last week when we were getting plays and like a couple candles hitting TPs and stuff. So that's just the point I'm trying to make. So if you have any questions, feel free to just shoot me a tweet on Twitter or just comment down in the comment section. I'll try to answer as many as possible. And then we'll just get ready for tomorrow. So I'll catch you all on the next feed. Peace.